I tried to avoid my CEO the same way a man avoids a storm he knows will ruin him by pretending the sky was clear and walking faster with his head down. For 3 years I'd mastered that art. I arrived early, left late, kept my reports flawless, my presence invisible, and my heart firmly locked behind professional silence. Because everyone in the company knew one thing: our CEO was brilliant, ruthless and untouchable. Evelyn Hart didn't just run the company. She owned every room she stepped into. People whispered her name with admiration and fear, and I was no different. I wasn't afraid of her power, though. I was afraid of myself. Afraid of how my chest tightened every time she walked past. How my thoughts betrayed me whenever she spoke my name in meetings. So I avoided her. No eye contact. No unnecessary conversations. No lingering glances. That worked. Until the night my best friend convinced me to go on a blind date. I remember standing outside the restaurant, adjusting my jacket, telling myself this was just dinner, just small talk, just a stranger I'd never see again. The hostess smiled and said, "Your date has arrived." I turned around and my world cracked open. She was standing there in a simple black dress. Hair loose, no boardroom armor, no sharp heels clicking like warnings, just her. Evelyn Hart, my CEO. Her eyes widened, the exact same moment mine did. And for the first time since I'd known her, she looked human, shocked, vulnerable, silent. The air between us was so heavy, it felt like the entire restaurant faded away. She laughed softly, almost nervously, and said, "So, this is unexpected." I wanted to run. My instincts screamed to apologize, resign, disappear. But something held me there. Maybe curiosity, maybe fate, maybe the same madness that had kept me watching her from afar for years. We sat, we talked, and something unbelievable happened. She wasn't the ice-cold CEO. She was funny, thoughtful, tired. She spoke about loneliness like it was an old friend, about pressure like it never let her breathe. And when she asked me why I always avoided her at work, my throat closed. I told her the truth. Because I didn't trust myself not to look at you the way I'm right now. She didn't look offended. She didn't look angry. She looked relieved. That night didn't end with a kiss. It ended with a promise. "Tomorrow," she said softly, "we pretend this never happened at the office. But tonight is just us." And as I walked home, my heart racing, I realized my life had split into 2 versions, the one before this night, and the one that would never be simple again. And if you're feeling this story already, don't forget to subscribe, because what happens next will change everything. Avoiding my CEO after discovering she was my blind date was impossible, because now every hallway felt electric, every meeting charged with unspoken tension, every glance a secret language only we understood. We followed the rules at first, strictly. Professional, no favoritism, no private conversations. But emotions don't obey corporate policies. Late nights turned into shared silences. Strategy meetings turned into lingering looks. One evening, during a crisis that threatened the company, she finally broke. She closed the boardroom door, leaned against it and whispered, "I can't do this alone anymore." That moment shattered everything. Not because she was powerful, but because she trusted me. We didn't rush into romance. We built something fragile and dangerous and real. She opened up about the cost of leadership, about being respected but never loved, admired but never chosen. I told her about living in the shadows, about always being the reliable man no one really saw. Together, we saw each other. When rumors started, she didn't hide. She stood in front of the board and said, "Judge my results, not my heart." And when they tried to push me out, she surprised everyone by stepping back instead, choosing integrity over control. Love over fear. The company didn't collapse. It evolved, and so did we. Our story didn't end with fireworks or scandal. It ended with quiet strength, shared mornings, and a partnership built on respect, not power. Months later, as we walked into the office side by side, not CEO and employee, but equals, I realized something important. The person you fear the most might be the one who finally sees you. And sometimes the thing you avoid is the very thing meant to find you. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you believe in unexpected love again, make sure you subscribe to the channel because more powerful, emotional stories like this are waiting for you. And the next one might just change the way you see your own life. By the time the rumors reached the executive floor, the damage had already been done, not to our reputations, but to the walls we'd spent our entire lives building. Evelyn tried to stay calm, but I could see the strain in the way her jaw tightened during meetings and how her hands lingered on her coffee cup long after it went cold. The board didn't confront her directly at first. They circled like predators, questioning my performance, auditing my department, asking why I was suddenly being invited into strategic discussions. I'd earned long before anyone suspected anything else. One night, long after the office emptied, she stood beside the window overlooking the city lights and said something that broke me completely. Do you know what hurts the most? Not that they think I'm reckless, but that they think I couldn't possibly love someone without abusing my power. I told her I didn't need her position, her influence, or her protection. I needed her honesty. And that's when she did something no one had ever seen her do. She stepped away, publicly, temporarily. She announced a leadership review and removed herself from any decision connected to me. The company panicked. The board scrambled. Stock prices wobbled. And I realized this wasn't a love story about a CEO and an employee. It was about a woman choosing character over control. I was offered a promotion shortly after, one she refused to influence. And when it came through unanimously, she smiled at me the way she had on our blind date, soft, proud, unguarded. We didn't rush into some fairy tale ending. We fought, we doubted. We spent nights questioning whether love was worth the price of scrutiny. But every time I thought of walking away, she reminded me that a life built on fear was already a loss.